I think, the story of Doctor Sleep is a story of recovery. In the way that The Shining, I believe, is a story about addiction. Stephen King wrote Doctor Sleep with decades of sobriety, behind him. Looking back at the story he initially conceived to discuss his own anxiety about what his alcoholism could do to his family if it wasn't brought under control. Doctor Sleep is an answer to that in a lot of ways. Written by King, whose children had grown up by then, who are now kind of the same age he was when he was struggling with the worst of his demons. And so to me, Doctor Sleep is all about support, sobriety, recovery, and responsibility.
I remember not watching it for years. That was my first recollection of it, was that it was too frightening to watch. It had the reputation, I must have been 9 when it came out. And so I wouldn't watch it then, but then by the time I was a teenager and people would talk about it, it had the reputation of being the most frightening film ever made. And I just didn't want to see that. I wasn't interested. So I didn't really see it until I was till I was at drama school and I was learning to be an actor. And then I was watching different actors work and, studying different performances and stuff. And I felt like I should see it then to watch Jack.
Rose the Hat is a 700-year-old woman who has seen everything, experienced everything, the Great Depression being her best time in her life. She's a lover. She protects. She feels sorrow and grief. She's a human being, even though she's semi-mortal, and she has to go beyond evil and absolute horror to be able to release steam, to be able to feed the people she loves.
Well, I was excited about it. I thought at first, probably I was a bit skeptical when I first was floated past me that somebody said the sequel to The Shining. Well, it turns out not to be the case. It's an adaptation of Stephen King's follow-on novel, Doctor Sleep, and that sort of changes everything in a way. Somebody sitting up in the hills behind a laptop didn't just dream up a sequel to the Shining movie, but he wrote a very interesting novel, so it's slightly different. And then once I met Mike, I realised that there was somebody I really was interested in. He's quite a fascinating character, Mike, and I felt like he was the right kind of guy to explore the themes in this with this character.